Batman vs. the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles comes out today on Blu-ray and 4K DVD. If you're unfamiliar with what's going on, this is a self-contained animated movie with a new version of the Turtles that we've never seen before, going up against the Caped Crusader. And this movie is littered with a ton of Easter eggs and references to both the Ninja Turtles franchise and the Batman franchise. In this video, we're gonna focus solely on the Ninja Turtle Easter eggs and discuss them a little bit. Big spoiler warning, if you don't want to be spoiled on Batman versus the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, come back after you see the movie. But as we always do, grab a slice of pizza, let's dive into the sewers, because we're gonna talk about all the Ninja Turtle Easter eggs and references in Batman versus the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Let's kick it off with movie references. There was a lot of these. At the beginning of the movie, the Turtles first arrive in Gotham, and as they pop their head out from the sewer, it recreates the 1990 movie poster from back in the day. It has been said that this was the closest that they could get to recreating that iconic poster legally, which I don't know what it means exactly, but there seems to have been some kind of hurdle to do this exactly like that iconic 1990 movie poster. The Michael Bay Turtles are also referenced at one point in the movie, as Michelangelo, Donatello, and Leonardo have a little banter while fighting the Penguin's henchmen. Michelangelo tries to creep out the Penguin's henchmen, saying that the Turtles are actually aliens, which, if some of you remember, when the Bay Turtles were in development, word got out that they were gonna change the origin of the Ninja Turtles to being aliens instead of mutants. And there was a huge uproar from the fan base, like Sonic the Hedgehog style, and the movie was reworked on, and that entire part of the story was removed. Donnie has a nice little dig at this moment as well, as he says, "It's always the right time for accuracy." The 1990 Ninja Turtles film probably has the most references in this movie, and Shredder's entrance into the film is no exception. He comes down in slow motion, feet first, just like he did in the rooftop battle of that classic film. They nailed it. I knew exactly what they were going for the second his feet entered into frame. The 1990 movie references don't end there though. Raph ends up losing his sai with his battle against Batman at one point, which I believe was a subtle nod to the 1990 film where he loses his sai as well. At the end of the film, Donatello can be heard celebrating with the word Bossa Nova, just like he does at the end of their first battle in the 1990 movie. There was a couple other references to that iconic first film. Leo on his back when fighting Ra's al Ghul with Ra's al Ghul's blade right at his chest was super reminiscent of Leonardo on his back in the rooftop fight against Shredder. Also, the phrase Ninja Vanish can be heard from Donatello at one point in the film. Secret of the Ooze also got a little bit of love in this film, Batman vs. the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. At one point, Alfred asks the Turtles while they're eating pizza if they would like napkins, and the Turtles reply, "What for?" just like they did to April in Secret of the Ooze. There's also a sequence at Arkham where the Turtles and the Bat family are playing pass with a vial of anti-ooze, which was incredibly reminiscent of the game of pass they played inside the TGRI laboratory in the Secret of the Ooze film. This one was kind of subtle. I don't know if it was intentional, but I got big Secret of the Ooze vibes from this one. But let's move on to some cartoon references. There were quite a few of these as well. Shredder's appearance, especially around the face, is a nice nod to the 1987 cartoon Shredder, but make no mistake about it, this version of Shredder will throw a ninja star straight into your skull. And while the Foot Soldiers may display a more traditional Foot Clan logo on their head, Shredder on his beltline displays a more 2003 animated series Foot Clan logo, which was a nice way to blend the two. A frame of the intro of the 1987 cartoon can be seen recreated at the beginning of the film when the Turtles first arrive in Gotham and land on some rooftops. There's actually a couple other references to that 87 intro. When Michelangelo is fighting a mutated polar bear version of Mr. Freeze, he blocks some projectiles the same exact way he did back in the day. Michelangelo can also be seen telling Donatello that Donatello does machines and that Michelangelo, him, is the party dude, which was a nice reference to the lyrics of that 1987 intro. When it comes to cartoon references, I feel like the 1987 cartoon got the most. One of Penguin's henchmen looks very similar to Krang's body from that 87 cartoon. Donatello can also be seen using his turtle phone or his turtle comm. It looks very similar to April's turtle comm from the 1987 cartoon, which was different than the ones the turtles carried around. So I guess it's also a nice little nod to April as well. Also, a calendar inside of the turtle van can be seen hung up and displayed at the month of April. This turtle van is very similar to the turtle van from the 1987 series. There's a lot of elements like the color scheme, the mouth on the front bumper, pretty much just like how the whole front looks like a face. But there's some changes as well. They definitely reinvented it, but I thought all of this was a nice nod to the 1987 party wagon. A couple more cartoon references. The film starts off with us staring at a moon, which I believe has been a staple of every opening intro for every Ninja Turtles cartoon. It's very subtle. I don't know if it was on purpose, but it seems like it was, because it starts off with just the big moon in the sky and a blimp, which brought me back to the 90s Batman the Animated Series days and the Ninja Turtles. It felt like they were saying these two universes are now together in this movie with that one frame. And if I'm not mistaken, the 2012 series appeared to have gotten a nod just for a quick moment. The 2012 Turtles had a very unique way of running, and there's a moment in the film where Raphael and Leonardo are running to save some hostages in the same exact fashion. There's a couple of comic references to mention. At the beginning of the opening sequence, on a rack on the sidewalk where some vendors are selling stuff, you can see the original comic for the first Batman Ninja Turtles crossover sitting on display. The end credits also display a number of Ninja Turtles comics, but with Batman infused into them. I want to break these all down, but I feel like that's a separate video for a different day. It's pretty cool though. It gives you something neat to look at while you're waiting for the end credit scene. And there is an end credit scene, so stick around. One more comic reference I noticed, and I don't know if this one was intended or just happens to look the same, but at the end, when Batman and the Shredder are fighting and Raphael comes and breaks Shredder's mask with his shell, the way Shredder's face looks and the way the shot is framed looks very similar to the way Shredder looked when he was defeated in the first Mirage comic back in 1984. So we've discussed some movie references, some cartoon references, even some of the comic Easter eggs, but believe it or not, there's a little bit more. I'm telling you, if you're a Turtles fan and you haven't seen this movie, definitely go check it out. It's a huge throwback to them, which I feel like is what everybody's been wanting. But yeah, a couple more references. This one I've seen thrown out there, but I can't quite confirm, but now it does kind of make sense. Baxter Stockman, or at least the actor that plays him, does seem to be acting a little bit like Jeff Goldblum, who, if you know, played the Fly in the 1986 iconic film The Fly. And this makes sense because Baxter Stockman, as you know, is the same type of insect. Raphael can be seen riding a motorcycle in this film. And although, yes, this is a nice nod to previous incarnations of the Turtles where Raphael has been for the most part exclusively the turtle that rides the motorcycle, the bigger nod is probably to the design of the bike itself. If you look closely, you can see that the design is based off Metalhead, the robotic turtle that fights alongside the Turtles. For the most part, there has been times where he's turned on the Turtles. And in this, you can clearly see that the bike is designed off of Metalhead's appearance. Okay, a couple more things. There is a reference to the TMNT arcade game from back in the day, which, by the way, I believe there's like a Raw Thrills like modern version of this game that's out at arcades like nowadays, which I didn't find out till like way later, but I need to go check that out. Anyways, in the final fight of the film, Michelangelo and Raphael can be seen performing the same moves, tossing a foot soldier in a similar manner as they did in that arcade game. One thing you might have missed is that the Turtles have initials on their belt buckle area. Now, they're not necessarily belt buckles, but you can see that different weaves of the leather have been folded in such a way to create the initial for each respective turtle. Okay, post credits. Now, I'm not sure if this was a reference or if they knew how the current comic run Batman Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Part 3 would go, but there's a similar character in that run that's ongoing right now that resembles the way Shredder ends up at the end of this film, called the Laughing Man. I don't think this will be exactly what they do if they end up doing a sequel sequel for this movie because certain elements were missing, like the Turtles and Batman being from separate universes. That's a huge part of The Laughing Man, so that's definitely not what they're gonna do. But I wonder if they knew what was coming with Batman Ninja Turtles 3, the comic, and if this was a reference to it. If not, it's still pretty cool. I've seen a lot of fans throw out there the term the Shredder who laughs, which I believe is a reference to a DC comic run called The Batman Who Laughs. I don't know much about it, but yeah, I thought you should know. But that's it for all the Easter eggs and references that I could find in Batman vs. the Ninja Turtles, the animated movie. Let me know down below, have you seen the movie? Do you like it? What did you like about it? Did I miss any Easter eggs and or references? Let me know down below. Also, if you're new to the channel and you're like, why is this guy only talking about the Ninja Turtle Easter eggs and references? That's because that's all we talk about on here is Ninja Turtle stuff. Old, new, upcoming Ninja Turtle stuff. If that's something you're missing in your life, that you just crave it, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Also, if you enjoyed the video, go ahead and press thumbs up, as it helps with the visibility of this video and the channel, and it helps me out a lot. Thanks everyone for watching. I'll be back with another video, working on some stuff. Stay tuned, hit subscribe, and take care. Ninja vanish! Hey Turtle fans, thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to follow me on all the social media platforms, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. It's a good way to stay in touch with the channel. And also, if you want, go ahead and give the video a share on your social media platforms, Reddit, Twitter, all that stuff. And let's spread Turtle Mania to the world. Once again, thanks everyone for watching. It really does mean a lot.